show where we're kicking it and having fun on inspirational radio. Real talk show, kicking it and having fun. So turn your radio up.
Well, let's just jump right into it then. One of the things that I noticed been all over my social media feed this week has been a situation with Keke Palmer and her boyfriend, Darius. By now, I think most of you guys have probably heard about that situation, but we wanted to talk about it from a Christian couple point of view. Just to sum it all up, Keke Palmer went to an Usher concert. Keke Palmer had on a very, risque type dress, a little see-through, bodysuit underneath. Did some grinding and some things like that. And of course, her boyfriend, Darius, did not like the situation. And so on Twitter, when the picture was posted, he commented on that picture that, something about her being a mom, it's to dress for him. And then he kind of doubled down later and, just basically explained that his, he has boundaries. He has things that he doesn't want his wife or his girlfriend doing that disrespects her. Disrespects him and his family and household.
From the standpoint of Keke, first of all, she looks amazing. She looks absolutely stunning. To just have had a baby, her snapback is very real, and I commend her on that. I think that I understood where Darius, or that's the young man's name, I understood where he was coming from. The only thing that I would see I would have done differently if I were him is it's just a home matter. I think that just wisdom about relationship is keep your relationship in your house. You know what I'm saying? I think that because he used the platform to comment, confront, whatever, it made it everybody's business at this point. So there's a lot of commentary, a lot of, we like to choose, we like to be divided. It's she can wear whatever she want to wear. And then, I'm sure men have their take on it, but they're young too. I think they're not married. And I think that we really come down hard on people when we see them make a mistake, I don't keep up with celebrity stuff. I just don't. But from what I think I understood was that people would then start dragging him and all in his comments and, and I know we like to pretend like our relationships be all together, but I see toxic people every day. So the difference between, and they're not toxic, but I'm saying the difference between their relationship and the next person is that it's on a platform. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes it harder for you to work out common life things because you've got an audience, so he's entitled to his feelings. And truth be, he had a reason. She was shaking all of that in front of Usher. Hey, I understand. He was like, hey, you're not answering my phone or whatever. I don't know what the backstory is. I'm just making up something, but he put it on, he put his feelings out there. And so
you mentioned, a couple of things, I think that's key. Because, I'm going to respond from a Christian male standpoint, but you mentioned a couple of things that I like you to, talk a little bit more about. Like, again, Keke looked really nice and right. She looked beautiful. But, I think I have the same issue. Matter of fact, my only issue with that whole situation, no matter what side you lean on, is the fact that it was done and addressed in public.
Right.
Anything that a person, like if you publicly talk crazy to me, I don't care who you are, you know what I mean? Like right. My wife, and you embarrass me, that's just as disrespectful, I think, like as anything. Because maybe I don't know. Maybe I do. I'm in a season of my life where I'm not thinking in the way that I need to be thinking. They're not married yet. I've heard that too. But maybe Keke's not in a marital mind, frame or whatever. Is there a difference between that?
We really don't know what, I think the part of relationships is that we make an assumption off of a fragment of something. Mm-hmm. So like we'll say to our girlfriend, we'll hear our girlfriend say, he stayed out all night, he did this, he didn't come home for a week. I don't know. And then you thinking in your mind, girl, I ain't no way I would put up with that. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is that we don't live in that home. And most times when we're showcasing a picture of something, we never show ourselves. We always talking about what the other person doing. So we don't know what their relationship is like. And we don't know if that's a private conversation that then bubbled over to something public. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. She's always been just a really outgoing, seeing her in movies and stuff. She seems like she's just got so much personality. She's, just a bunch of energy. So I'm sure she draw people in, and you know what I mean? And so to me, being a successful young woman for a very long time, I think there's layers to it. I'm not saying that, I don't know him at all, but I think that when you have people that are pillars, they need a certain type of person that can be with them. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not one of those parts that's not like really secure, it makes it hard. And I'm not saying again, I don't know these people. I'm just saying from a little snapshot, it seems like they're just like anybody else, but she's not, because she is well known and she may have worked on projects with Usher before. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's pieces of it that we don't see. So just from a surface level, I just feel like it was just something that was a personal thing that should have just been handled, in their home.
And so I think that's the lesson, right? And this is what, my opinion and what I would actually share with my male counterparts in some similar situations. If you're in a relationship with someone, one of the things that I've learned and that I'm learning to do more is to try to be very transparent and upfront about, my expectations, what my boundaries are, what my, hurt points, right, could be. And that's not something that I think is normal for a lot of men. I think it's something because pride is involved.
You've done a really good job of working on and working out different things that you know about yourself and your own insecurities, and you work them out through our relationship. So it's allowed me to maybe be more patient, be more kind with something that I know might be touchy. So like everybody didn't probably have a relationship, and there might have been somebody might have stepped out or something like that, something that's caused a distrust. So then when you go into another situation, you always thinking about that looked like that the last time. It alters you in such a way that you just keep bringing that baggage forward. So a woman that's beautiful, everybody wants something good on their arm, you know what I mean? But you got to be secure in that.
Well, we just saw a video I just saw it today. I think you said you saw it before, where Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking with his wife. Right. And, one of the things he suggested is that men, we give you signs. We try to speak sign language. Or we expect you to
understand
to automatic, like the verbiage that I'm hearing from a lot of people, especially on social media, is she should know she had a baby with him and she shouldn't disrespect that relationship, right?
But disrespect is such a relative term. Like anything can be disrespectful from your point of view and not be disrespectful from the person who's doing it.
But regardless, that's their expectation, right? And what I would say to most men is that a fair expectation? Like, going back to my point about us not vocalizing, what our boundaries are, or what, things, we expect in a relationship, or that we want to hold true to in a relationship. And, I think it's something that you need to have a conversation and vocalize. Most people, when we date, and I think we've talked about this in some of our men versus women, we just put our best foot forward. We want to make the person that we're trying to impress feel as comfortable as possible, and we want to, put forth our, I guess, a product and our representative, right? But and if it's somebody that you're planning on spending some time with, obviously they had a baby together, so it's important to have those conversations and set those, at least those expectations up front. Because if you don't, and again, I'm talking to my men, I'm pretty sure this applies to women too. I don't think it's fair to hold someone accountable for something when they do it afterwards. Now, if we talk about it, like you said, if they had a private conversation about it, and she still ended up wearing this dress or doing whatever she wanted to do, then great. But again, while we dealing with it in the public face,
that's my only thing, because I think we're taking what we always do is we're peeping through a window, through the curtain, and we don't really know the full. I don't know if that's how she always dressed. Is that what she had on when she met him? Is that what she had on when they made the baby? I don't know.
And she dressed pretty risque.
But what I'm saying is, so if you came into a situation, and this is how I am when you met me, then what's the conversation piece, or what's missing there when I'm still doing me, but now you got a problem with it? So we don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she was already dressing that way and they had a baby.
And again, I think it goes back to what I was saying. I think men, when we enter that relationship, and this is, I don't think the best way to think now in retrospect, but we think that, okay, because I'm committed to you, you're going to do respect. You're going to know what it is to respect a relationship with me. And that's not true. You said something earlier, or I don't know if you said, maybe we were having a conversation, but as far as relationships, like, respect looks different for every person. You know what I mean? Something might be super disrespectful to someone when it's not to another. But again, if you're not communicating those or taking time to really figure that out before you get into a situation, a marriage, a fiancé-ship, baby daddy situation, then situations like this, to me, is apt to happen.
Lack of communication.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I think that through talking, you'll find out a lot. I don't know if you remember, like, last week we were watching that stupid little video where they swap phones.
Oh,
and the girl was cheating and the boy was cheating, and he was like, "Yeah, I do what I do, but she can't do what I do."
Right.
So it's like a double standard there. Like, it was all right for him to be texting somebody to come over, but he was just appalled that she was texting whatever the case may have been. So communication works out those type of things, because one person could be really ready for something else, or another level of relationship, and the other person could be remedial. They're not ready for that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So oftentimes, not to make it a color thing, but in the African American community, we are struggling in the relationship. We'll just be like, what do they say? That's just my friend, or or the how many people we might be together for a minute before we decide to get married. So it's different things, where marriage is something that definitely has to be modeled in front of you, and you grow up in marriage. You don't come into a marriage as an adult. Marriage is a thing that is a tool that is used to mature you, and it cracks down on you. And so we're seeing two people that are dating. One, in my opinion, seems like, hey, girl, you got my baby. I don't want my baby mama out here like that. So it seems like, one is maybe ready for something else, but I agree with you. There definitely seems to be a lack of communication, and just the overall understanding of us being together, what does that really mean? What does that look like? You know, now we have a child together. It's a transition type moment for them.
That Jonah Hill and his girlfriend / fiance or whatever had a similar situation that she made public, right? And so, you know, bottom line for me is, and it sounds like for you as well, is that things like this need to be handled privately, right? Need to be, you know, an understanding. Expectations need to be set up front, you know, and if you're communicating this and you come to the terms and realize, look, like if Keke says, hey, I still want to wear these type of clothes, or I still want to, you know, be single, or, you know, whatever be like that. Now you have an understanding. You can go your separate ways. It don't got to be a bunch of public drama, you know?
Welcome to the Talk Show.